How do you get out of poverty and start your own business with nothing, starting from zero? Well, you don't, because that's the wrong way to think. Because in reality, we have the two most important things that are going to take us into wealth, and that is God and yourself. Most importantly, it's God. I have a chapter in my book, Join Me Today, explaining how God helps us, and once we decide on what we're going to do. He will open the doors for you. He will give you the resources and the guidance, and he does it through people, through situations that we get into, and through nature. So we have the two most important things. We have ourselves. We have a lot to offer because remember, we're God's creations. So that's it. Start thinking that we have the two most important things, and there are 5 things that we must consider before getting onto this journey to wealth, okay? If you stick around, I will give you the details on each of them. But for now, we need to understand what is poverty, because a lot of us don't even know we're poor because we have a job, transportation, a roof, and we don't think we're poor because we compare ourselves with people in third world countries that are really, really suffering. But I have a few questions that we can answer and find out if you're poor. Second, we need to solve a problem. What problem or product are we gonna solve in exchange for money? Third, why do we even want so much money? Why do you want to be wealthy? Why do you want $1 million in the bank? Why? And what do we have to offer? Right? As far as how are we gonna offer it? How are we gonna do it? And I'm gonna give you some examples of people that have done it without a large sum of money. Because, okay, here it goes. So what is poverty? If you think you're not poor because you have a paycheck every week, that's not enough, all right? So if someone was to ask you, hey, let's go to Europe. I want to go to some wedding. You're invited to the wedding. Can you go to that wedding? Do you have the money in the bank for you to take out those $5,000 or $10,000? Do you have that available and go to Europe for the weekend because it's your best friend's wedding? If you don't, then you're poor. Or do you have to go ask for permission to get a week off from work? If you have to ask for permission to take time off, that means you're depending on somebody for your life choices. Then that means you're poor, right? If you were to get fired tomorrow, will you be okay by, say, do you have enough money for at least 6 months so that you can find another job or at least build up your business? If you don't have 6 months pay enough to cover your expenses and your current lifestyle, then you're poor, all right? So stop comparing yourself with extreme poverty. If you're poor, you're poor. So face it. Now, why do you want to be rich? What's the big deal? Why can't you just be satisfied with what we have? Why do we want to be rich? Well, first of all, because the world is changing. And if you don't change with the world, you're going to suffer. We don't know what the world is going to be like in 5 to 10 years. And if you're the same situation, in the same job, and the world has changed so much, you're going to suffer. It's just like inflation has always been a part of the world. And if you get scared every time you get gas or when you look at a menu, you're like, then you're poor And the more that you do not do anything about it, the more you're gonna suffer as time goes on. All right, that's a big reason to get out of poverty and to become wealthy. Another one is, if you're in a place, if you have a cell phone in your hand and that means you're in a better place than millions of other people. So why not help those people out? You're not gonna be mean about it and say, oh, they gotta figure it out themselves. No, there are a lot of helpless people out there that include children, seniors, animals. There are a lot of lives that are really suffering and they cannot do anything about it because of their situation, because of their age or their sickness. So yes, either you have to be wealthy to be able to help others that are really suffering and are helpless. Because remember, we are the hands of God and His deeds are done through us. So now, okay, so what are we gonna offer? What can I do? Well, you have to find a problem and get the solution. Remember, I have a video of that and I'm gonna put it up there so you can go to it. It's called The Problem is the Solution. Because just go to that video, decide on what you're gonna offer and how you're gonna offer it. And you might be thinking, well, I don't even have $100 to spend on business. Well, then start with what you have. The other day I was telling my daughter that I was gonna get a loan of $5,000 so I can buy merchandise for my fashion boutique. And she's like, no, Mom, don't do that. Just start with what you have. Don't go be spending money because you're already gonna spend $300 on your website. Start with what you have. And so I did. And that gave me the idea of selling the products that I already have in my closet. And then my sister told me, oh, I have some things that I want to sell. But I know there's a lot of people out there, especially older people, that have a hard time building a website or getting their face in the camera. And so I thought, okay, well, if you don't want to sell your 10 items, give them to me and I'll sell them for you for a commission. So there I'm solving a problem of helping people that have things for sale, but they don't know how to do it or they don't have the time to do it. That's what I'm offering. And so if you have a phone, you can sell anything. Number 5 is always remember to take God into consideration in everything you do. Ask Him for guidance and watch out for those signs where He is communicating with you. Because don't be like always in a rush. I know a lot of people tell you, just do it and go for it. But sometimes you're gonna be held back and it's not always a bad thing. Like the other day, I was about to place my order of $5,000 on a website where I was gonna buy my merchandise for my boutique. But then I got stuck in a moment, distracted, and I was tired. And so I just said, okay, I'm not gonna pay for my items just now. I'm gonna wait until tomorrow because I don't wanna make any mistakes when I place my order. And then in the morning, I heard about the tariffs that are for China for things that are imported. And those tariffs are gonna make the prices like unknown. We don't know. You don't know how high the prices are gonna be for that product that's coming in from overseas and how long it's gonna take to come here. So there's a lot of like iffy things with the tariffs that I'm not there yet. And so it was a good thing that I saw this video that educated me on the tariffs. And so I decided not to buy things from China. And so I think that's the way that God communicated with me. Hey, Paula, just don't buy things from China. It's gonna be too much trouble. It's gonna get expensive. Just start with what you have. And so that's what I'm doing. And so far, only money I've spent is on my website. And I have an inventory now, so go check it out. Hola Pola Fashion Boutique. Hola, it's my other YouTube channel. And anyways, so that's how I'm doing my business from nothing. I just went through my closet, and I'm gonna go through other people's closets so I can have inventory. I have an example of a lady. She started cleaning houses, and then as she got older, she started training women on how to clean, and now she's connecting those women to the clients, and she's now the middle person. And her business has grown a lot. You can also start by cooking for others. At least make a salsa, make something. You can sell your salsas. I've seen women that sell their mason jars full of salsa, and who knows, maybe eventually you can mass produce your salsa, or you can make a cookbook on your salsas, some cooking classes, and that's how you grow your business from what you know already. If you don't know how to sew, you don't know how to do, you don't have a skill, then learn it on YouTube. I've heard of this fashion designer. She learned how to sew on YouTube, and then she went on Project Runway. Imagine that. And she won. So you can learn anything on YouTube, and there are no limits. You can create something from anything. I have my niece. She would come in and she would collect all the scraps from the fabrics from my sewing, and she made a patchwork, like a fabric made of patches, and from there she made bucket hats, and those are a hit at the festivals. Who knows, maybe later on people are gonna love the bucket hats so much that they're gonna like mass produce, and it's just people can't get enough of those bucket hats. So you can start, but always keep in mind that God is there. You just gotta listen to Him, and you gotta ask Him, give Him credit, and listen to Him, and be open to receive His help, which you're gonna get through nature. I have a chapter in here of how nature provides. And I have, like, I did my skincare line just back in the day. I did a skincare line just based on what I had in the kitchen. I used oatmeal, aloe vera, sea salt, and I made my skincare product, and it went very well. It helped me out with some extra money. So just gotta get creative and see what problems you have yourself and solve it. Create a system, make a product, make a service, but make sure it's valuable, because the world is changing, and I think people are becoming more aware of how to manage their money and not just spending it on gadgets that are useless. So make sure that you are solving a problem. Like, I'm solving the problem of people having to search for quality items and distinguishing cheap from quality, and I'm going to do that through my boutique. So there's plenty to do, and you're not starting from nothing. You have a really big head start. You just gotta acknowledge it. Well, good luck on your adventures. Remember to subscribe. Go to that other video, The Problem is the Solution, and send this out to anybody that's kind of like being pessimistic, that they don't have not even $100 to start. You say, hey,